It's a character a month, it'll be a while to be a good number for a tag game? Maybe. Roster size talk is, I mean, it's always been a little funny to me because it feels like people usually just like, you know, like Granblue has 40 characters and I never see 30 of them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people, like, it'd be cool. Would it be cooler if the game had more characters? Yes. But I also feel like, it doesn't feel like as big of a deal as people make it out to be in my head, I guess. I think it's a bigger issue for a tag game than a 1v1. I mean, it's arguably, but then also in a tag game, you're going to have combinations, right? So like, instead of having 10 characters, you actually have how many ways can you arrange 2 characters with no, what's 10 choose 2? In a tag game, you're going to have, like, you know, combinations of the characters. So Blitzcrank isn't just Blitzcrank, he's also, you know, the Blitz Darius team, and the Blitz Echo team, and the Blitz Jinx team, and the Blitz Vi team. Right? So you actually, I think, weirdly in a tag, like, people keep saying that too, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm like, isn't it maybe the opposite? Like, couldn't you get away with less, like, fewer characters in a tag game because, you know, you got combinatorics in that shit? Like, am I stupid?
What's this? What's this?
Like, with like 10 characters in a 2v2 game, don't you have, like, I'm really bad at combinatorics, so, like, apologies in advance. But, like, wouldn't you have something like, I don't know, like 25 teams or something like that? Apparently they've had Jinx and Blitz on the back burner for a while, so it might be true. So it's been, like, the one thing, and I understand, I'm not even saying, like, oh, it's totally fine that the game is releasing with 9 characters. I'm saying more so, it's like a, oh, you know, I'd like if it had more characters, but it feels so secondary for how much everyone focuses on it. You know what I mean? A 2H got range? Oh, yeah. Hello again, Mr. Hey, Bellison. Ow, ow, ow. It's kind of true, but I'm not sure if the team differences matter enough for that. I mean, the characters seem very different from one another, so it should be, right? So, like, if anything, wouldn't it be a way bigger problem to have 9 characters in a 1v1 game? That's, at least, that's the impression that I feel like I get. Could have killed him there. My bad. Certainly the wrong U skill utilized. Because in tag game, you pick 2 characters. People want double the characters. No, I get that. But, like, your ass is gonna pick 2 characters anyway. Very few people ever pick, like, play more than, like, 2 characters or 3 characters per fighting game, it feels like. So, like, in a tag game, what, it's gonna be like 4, 5, or 6 or something like that? Well, they got 9 characters for your ass. And as far as, like, the variety of opponents you're gonna face, it should be bigger in a tag game because of the fact that there's, you know, different combinations of teams. Like, my main point is this, it doesn't feel like that big of a deal. I'm definitely looking forward to that game getting roster expansions. People talk about it like it's like, oh, you know, I would have really liked to play 2XKO, but they only put 10 characters in the game. I'm like, huh? After checking 10 characters, 2 characters per team, 45 combos, my math could be off. You gotta make sure to account for the fact that Blitz Darius and Darius Blitz the same team, right? I think 45 is a little high because duplicates, right? Like rearranging them doesn't work. Like Blitz, yeah, Blitz Darius and Darius Blitz, you have to cut those out. If you already did that, then cool. Yeah, it's 45 combinations of teams, right? So that's more teams than Granblue has characters right now. And most people that I know would not say that Granblue has like a disappointingly small roster or anything like that. I'm pretty sure anyway. Granblue has 40 characters if you count EXs. Nope. Oh, he's alive. Because it was on cooldown. It's like 10 plus 9 over 2. 45 is correct? Okay. I got a nosebleed doing this. I'm moving this to the next guy to be sure. No, that's fair. 45 is correct, yeah. So, I mean, 2XKO has more combinations of teams. And it's a tag game. We're talking about a tag game. So the teams are really what matters. It's got more combinations of teams than Granblue has characters for a 1v1 game. So, like, I don't know. I'm not overly convinced of the idea that the roster is like this glaring issue. Would I like to see more characters added? Absolutely. I mean, it's just because the IP has so many goddamn characters. They're like, yeah, it'd be super cool to see more League champions represented because there's like 175 of them that you could put in the game or something, and a lot of them are very cool. But like, if we ignore the fact that it's the League IP for a second and just talk about a fighting game with that many characters, I'm like, seems kind of fine to me. I don't know.
Going up.
It's because of League old head. I want to see more weirdos. Not again, like when you think about the fact that League again has, I think genuinely like 170 or something is not an exaggeration. How many champions are in League? For me, I care about having choices for characters I think are cool. I have to choose two characters that are cool. So only having 10 options, so that's a little disappointing, especially since there aren't many standout characters for me. Yeah, I guess the one place where I could see like the roster complaints being a lot more reasonable is like if there weren't a lot of. There's not a lot of like there could be not a lot of like archetype representation, right? I think visually, like visual design, like you just care, like you have a lot of different looking characters, right? You have a lot of different like vibes of characters. 170 exact, yep. So like you have a lot of different vibes of characters, right? Like depending on what you enjoy, Yasuo is a very different character from Illaoi, who's a very different character from Braum, who's a very different character from Darius, who's a very different character from Blitzcrank in terms of just like how they look and feel, not like the gameplay, right? Just like the personality spread is pretty good, right? It's very different from Jinx, who's very different from Ahri, who's very different from Echo. Like they have a good spread of like characters who feel very different from each other. But as far as mechanical gameplay, I could see where you're like, well, there's no puppet character, you know? Like, I like playing puppet characters, and there's no puppet character. Yo, Yozo, thank you for the raid. I got, like, how's your stream, man? I can see that. I can see, like, if you're... I want, like, all these different archetypes represented, and because there's only 10 characters, you know, there's, like, a projectile zoner, and, like, 2 Shotos, and, like, a half grappler. Like a brawler, sure, like they're doing their best, but that is going to lead to fewer like individual archetypes being represented than might otherwise be the case. That to me is probably the most valid aspect of complaining about the roster size for 2XKO, but otherwise, and even then, I don't think they're doing the horde. Like that's where I want them to add new characters, and I want them to be like weirdo characters, right? Like when 2XKO adds a character, I don't want it to be like, I don't want them to add like, oh, Ryu was in the game, now we have Ken too, you know? Like I want them to add some fuck shit. Stream was good, Brody, nice. I want them to add some fuck shit. Like, I want them to add, like, you know, Kindred as a puppet character or some dumb shit like that.
And you'll pay the consequences.
Because we do need more, like, archetype representation in 2XKO, certainly. Like, right now, I mean, I'm not that familiar with all the characters, right? But, like, Illaoi is kind of, like, your Pixie-style character. Right, I think, which is also like she's like a rushdown, like kind of like is she like chip pilled a little bit? Illaoi I never really understood, or not Illaoi, sorry, Ahri. I've said Illaoi 100 times. I meant Ahri every single time I said that. Echo is like, you know, mix your shit, fast character. Jinx is a zoner, right? Like a sort of somewhat traditional like projectile zoner as far as I can tell. Braum, Darius, and Illaoi are all some kind of. Like, Braum, Darius, and Illaoi are all some kind of bruiser, it looks like. Like a couple of different twists on like a big bruiser style character. I think. Like Darius is your most traditional like Marissa style guy, I think. And then Owie. Oh, Braum and Illaoi both add a little bit of sauce to that concept. And then Blitz is like your grappler, right? It does seem odd to have so many big bodies? Yeah. Never seen someone talk about team combinations in tag games. Interesting way to look at it. I mean, I think it's... I mean, we're saying like, oh, you know, 10 characters is... Like, that's the one that always... Like, 10 characters for a fighting game? Sure, like, that is certainly not a lot of characters. But, like, specifically when people go, it's low for a tag game, I go, what do you mean by that? Right? Like, that one never made... I'm like, if anything, it's worse. If 2XKO was 1v1, I feel like I would be more against it. I feel like you need more variety in, like, these solo games. Oh, I spot dodged too early. I should have just backdashed, but... Is it because historically tag games have massive casts at launch? And that's really crazy to me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, by the way. I think that's a reason also why so many of those games are fucking... like broken, like they feel like they're because it's impossible to balance that many combinations of characters, right? It's impossible to have like, if you have like 40 characters in a tag game, I mean, someone could do that math. That's like, you got like 100 teams, over 100, probably, I mean, close to like 170 team comps, something like that. You're not gonna, you can't balance for all of that. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have more characters. I'm saying, you know, there's a push and a pull there. Oh! They have a million characters, but how many are actually viable? Right. BB tag at 18 at launch, I think. Fighters had 20-something. And I mean, listen, I love Fighters. Fighters is what, like, got me into fighting games, like, for real. But, you know, the complaint about Fighters had 20 characters, yeah, but, like, there was a lot of uniformity there, right? GD's GBH, right? Fighters had a lot of uniformity there. 4 characters, 2 choices, 780 permutations. Yes, that's, you just, like, you know, there's going to be something that slips past the cracks there, and there's going to be something just broken in all of these games, right?